Hello everybody, in this lecture we are going to learn tuples in Python. Tuples can be thought of as a list that cannot be changed. Therefore, they don't have methods like pop, append or sort. However, tuples have index and count method. Why they don't have pop, append or sort method? Because in the tuples we cannot change its tuples element. That's why they don't have append or pop method. We cannot add element or we cannot remove element from our tuple. That's why the tuples, they don't have pop and append method. And the index method, let's talk about the tuples method also, index and count. Index method allows to find the element you are looking for at which index. And the count method allows to find the element you are looking for how many times exists in a tuple. You might ask, why would anyone use tuples instead of lists? An example for using tuples instead of lists might be representing latitude and longitude of a location. If we use lists instead of tuples to store these two values somewhere else in our program, we might extend the append or pop value or change the ordering of these values. It will become clearer in the future where to use tuples and where to use lists. Okay, now after the explanation about tuples, let's create our examples. Here I want to create a tuple 1, its name is okay, and after that here I will say 1 2 and here I will say Python string, and the last one let's say 7 or -7, let's say. Okay, now we create our tuples. Okay, and like tuples also like lists, you can create like nested list pairs also we can create, but now I didn't create pairs for my tuple. Okay, we'll also see that. If I print out my tuple 1, let's see, as you see Python returns me its elements here, and I want to also show you how we can create a single tuple. Single tuple is also, it is a little bit different. I will name it single tuple. It equals, here I will say for example 1, its element, and after 1 I need to use here comma. Okay, we can create our single tuple like that. And also let's now learn how we can use index and count method. Here I will create another tuple 2 equals, I will say 1 1 1 1 and again 1, and the other one let's say here, sorry, after comma and here comma, and here I will say Python. After Python let's say 9 11 and -8. Okay, now I will show you how we can use count and index method. As I said, count method allows to find the element you are looking for how many times exists in a tuple. So if I say here, as you see here, I have the 5 is I have 5 times 1 is 5 times in my tuple, right? If I say tuple 2 dot count and I am looking for 1, right? I will say between parentheses 1. As you see, Python returns me 5. That means this element 5 times exists in my tuple. And if I use this for example 9, let's say how many times in our tuple 9, let's check it. As you see, Python returns me 1 because I have only one time in my tuple 9 for the 9. Okay, and also let's learn index method. As you remember, we always talk about indices for lists and also tuples. Index method, it allow here definition. Index method, it allows to find element you are looking for at which index. For example, for the Python, if I how can I find that element index? I need to say here tuple 2 dot index, and after that here I need to pass in my element which I looking for. Okay, and let's press shift, and as you see Python returns me 5. Why it's 5? Because tuples and lists, their index start from 0. Okay, that one is for index at 0 1 2 3 4, and the Python is at index 5. Okay, and like lists, tuples also, we can get a range of elements by specifying the starting index and ending index. We learned already this, so I will not explain it again. And here I will only make our examples, okay? Like everything is like list, okay? So I will not talk about this, only I will make our examples and we will understand how they are, how it is working for tuples also, okay? Here I want to create a tuple. Let's say name is tuple 3. I will name it, okay? And here between parentheses I will say 7, 8, 1, minus 7, and 0 and one float number. Let's use 1.9. okay, let's use something as 6, one more, and 77. Okay, that's enough. Now I want to show you, as you remember, like here we already talked about it, the general form for also tuples. The first element is index, starting index, second one is ending index, and the last one is step size. Okay, if I use tuple 3, and here also I need to use square brackets, okay, like this, I will say start from index 0 colon, and after that until index 5. Let's see it. As you see, Python returns me 7, 8, 1, minus 7 and 0. Why? Because index 0, 7 is at index 0, but the index 5, that means it is 1.9, it is not including for this code. Okay, and I print out 5 elements from my tuple. And if I use also step size here, for example this one, and I will use here step size, and step size is 2. And let's use for how many elements I have? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. So if I have 8 elements, I can say until 8. Okay, step size is 2. Let's check it. As you see here, Python returns me 7, and it pass 8, after that 1, and pass minus 7, 0, and 6. It is working like for the same, exactly same like list. Okay, and if I don't use here, for example, starting index, default it will start index from index 0. Okay, let's also do it. If I say tuple 3 square brackets, and here I will say colon, and after that colon I will say until index 6, and the step size is 2. Okay, as you see here, default index, starting index at it is 0, so it will get 7, 1, and 0. And also let's only use here ending index. If I only use it, if I say for example only 5 or 6, let's say it, and see how it's working. As you see, it returns me 6. Why is like that? Because I said only prints out the index at 6, and it's also 6, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and 6. And what is next? Let's also learn how we can create tuple pairs. It's like nested list. Okay, of course we don't have to create only pairs. We can create more than 2 elements in a parenthesis. Like you can dimensional, you can think it's like 3-dimensional tuples, 2-dimensional tuples. Okay, it's like that, and it's like exactly like nested list. If I say here tuple 4, and now you can imagine like we are creating here location, for the location latitude and longitude pairs here. Okay, and here I will say for the first element A, and after that I will name it B. That one is the first one. Sorry, it's like that. After that is comma. Here I will say 7 and 9. Okay, and now the last one is, let's say, 2 and 4. Now I have my pairs. How can I get element from this tuple? For example, if I want to get the first one, first pair, how can I get it? I need to say here like list tuple 4, and the first one is at index 0. So if I say 0, as you see, Python returns me the first element, but the first pair. If I want to only print out only one element, for example A or B. How can I do it? To do that, I need to say here, after 0 again square brackets. If I want to print out only A, I need to say here 0. Okay, if I want to print out only B, what I need to do here, I need to say here 1. Okay, and it is like that, like actually like list, everything is same. And I think that's all for the tuples. Also, we will of course use tuples and list in the next lessons. For now, that's all. See you in the next.